Today we are going to look at a story of ICSE 10 class written by Ray Douglas Bradbury, and the story name is All Summer in a Day. Last year this story was cut for the previous exams that were to be held in 2021, the board exams, and now this has been included this year for 2021-22. So let's have a look at the story. Ray Douglas Bradbury was an American fantasy, science fiction, horror and mystery fiction author. So this author was actually an American who used to write stories on fantasy, horror, science fiction and mystery. His short story All Summer in a Day is set on planet Venus. So this story that we are going to study is on a planet Venus. It describes in vivid detail the day when the planet experiences sunshine. So when the sun was going to arise on that planet, this is the story. The story has been set on that day. An event that occurs only once in 7 years. That means on Venus planet, it used to rain continuously for 7 years. After 7 years, only one day was there for the sun to rise. The scene is set in a school where the teachers and children await the appearance of the sun. And this story is actually set in a school on Venus where the teachers and the students are eagerly waiting for the sun to appear. The story explores the darker side of human nature that is manifest even in children, as they pick on Margaret simply because they see her as different from them. Now, since it is a human nature that if we see somebody different from us, we try to just nag on them, or we try to pull their legs, or try to play pranks on them. So the same way here, the children in the school were playing prank on Margaret simply because she was quite different from all of them. Bradbury's tale ends on a note of hope as the children seem to feel shame and remorse for their thoughtlessness. At the end of the story, the rest of the children, they regret for their behavior towards Margaret. Why? What happened in the story that they had to regret a lot for Margaret? That we have to see in this story. So let's start. Ready? Ready. Now? Soon. Do the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? Look, look, see for yourself. The children pressed to each other like so many roses, so many weeds intermixed, peering out for look at the hidden sun. Now here all of them were asked that, are you ready? All of them were saying yes, ready. And then the children asked, now? The teacher said soon it will appear. And they said that, are the scientists really saying true? They have foretold true that today the sun is going to arise. And then they talked to each other, look for yourself. And all of the children, they started pressing on each other. They made groups in towards the window of that classroom in order to have a good look at the hidden sun. It looked as if a bunch of roses along with weeds, along with different kind of thorns, flowers and all. It looked like a bunch of flowers. And all of them were eagerly waiting to see the sun, but it rained. It had been raining for 7 years. Thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to other with rain. With the drum and gush of water, with the sweet crystal fall of showers, and the concussion of storms so heavy they were tidal waves come over the islands. For 7 years it had been raining continuously, with thunder and with the loud sound of the water gushing through the streets, through the houses, and from one part of the other the planet was entirely covered with the water of the rain. There were sweet crystal of showers that used to fall each day, and also there was a loud sound of the storms, so heavy as if some tidal waves have come over the island. 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. Now, because the rain was so heavy that thousands of forests were crushed, they all died, and from them new forests used to emerge, so that the next time these forests also are crushed and again new forests would appear. And this was the way life was forever on planet Venus. So here the author has said that this is the type of life that was on Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women who had come to us raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. And so this was a schoolroom that was being shown, where the children were pushing against each other to have a good sight of the sun. The rocket men and women who had come here to stay on this planet, they all had to face such type of raining atmosphere, because everybody was curious to set up a civilization on Venus, and Venus was such a planet where sun never appeared. It occurred only once in 7 years. For 7 years continuously it used to rain. It's stopping, yes, yes. Then the children noticed that the rain was slowing down and it was about to stop, so they all shouted that it's stopping. Margaret stood apart from them, from these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't rain and rain and rain. They were all 9 years old, and if there had been a day 7 years ago when the sun came out for an hour and showed its face to the stunned world, they could not recall. Now Margaret, one of those students, was standing apart from all those students, while these other children, they had been continuously staying on this planet. They were all 9 years of age, and if suppose the sun had risen 7 years ago, at that time these children used to be 2 years of age, and they could not recall that whether the sun had appeared and it had stayed for an hour or so. So they had only faced continuous rain till they became 9 years. Sometimes at night she heard them stir in remembrance, and she knew they were dreaming and remembering gold or a yellow crayon or a coin large enough to buy the world with. This girl Margaret used to sometimes hear some murmuring from the mouth of these children when they used to sleep, as if they were trying to recall what was the shape of the sun, what was the color of the sun. Sometimes according to them it was like a yellow coin or a yellow crayon or a gold type of coin that was big enough to buy the entire world. She knew they thought they remembered a warmness like a blushing in the face, in the body, in the arms and legs and trembling hands. She also knew that they all were remembering just only that time when they had felt the warmth on their cheeks, their hands and legs, their body and their trembling hands. They could only recall the warmth that they had experienced. But then they always awoke to the tatting drum, the endless shaking down of the clear bead necklaces upon the roof, the walk, the gardens, the forest, and their dreams were gone. And whenever they used to dream such type of visions, immediately they used to wake up because of the loud tatting sound of the huge waters falling on the roof of their rooms. And even it seemed as if beads of necklaces are dropping down continuously in a thundering way over the roofs of their rooms. And then they could hear the walk, the gardens, the forest. They could remember that what would happen of the forest, of the gardens and all, and immediately they used to wake up. Their dream used to be broken off. All day yesterday they had read in class about the sun, about how like a lemon it was and how hot, and they had written small stories or essays or poems about it. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just an hour. Now the day before, all the children were taught the entire day about the sun, what the shape of the sun was and what was it. And according to them it was like a lemon and it was too hot and on the basis of that they had written small stories or essays according to their own visions. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just an hour. That was Margaret's poem. Margaret had written these 2 lines of a poem, read in a quiet voice in the still classroom while the rain was falling outside. She read this poem, and it was a quiet atmosphere in the classroom and rain was falling outside. "Oh, you didn't write that," protested one of the boys. One of the boys said, "No, it's not possible that you have written it." "I did," said Margaret. "I did." Margaret insisted that she has written that poem. "William," said the teacher, "but that was yesterday." Now the rain was slackening and the children were crushed in the great thick windows. "Where's the teacher?" "She'll be back. She'd better hurry. We'll miss it." Then the teacher had taunted that boy, William. The teacher scolded that boy for not considering Margaret to be a good poet. And then now this day all the children were crushed in such a way as if they were just wondering to see the sun. And now the rain was slackening. Slackening means it was becoming very, very light, as if about to stop. So all of them said that, "Where's the teacher?" And some of the other boys said that she'll be back soon. They said that she'd be better hurry up, because otherwise we'll miss the chance. They turned on themselves like a feverish wheel, all tumbling spokes. Margaret stood alone. All of them sometimes used to turn around each other and then pushing each other as if spokes of a wheel. But Margaret was apart from that group. She was standing alone. She was a very frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years, and the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes and the red from her mouth and yellow from her hair. Looking at her, a vision comes that as if she was a very frail, a very thin girl, a very weak girl, and it seemed as if the blue from her eyes had washed away due to the rain, the continuous rain that she had been seeing, the yellow from her hair and the red from her lips, as if she was not happy to be on that planet. She was an old photograph, dusted from an album. It seemed as if an old photograph has been taken out from an album and the dust has been removed from it, and it had become pale. Similar was her appearance, whitened away, and if she spoke at all, her voice would be a ghost. If she used to speak, it would be like a ghost was speaking. She couldn't even recognize her voice. Now she stood separate, staring at the rain and the loud wet world beyond the huge glass. She was just standing alone, and she was looking at the falling rain and also the loud noise that was coming out from the outside world. "What are you looking at?" said William. Margaret said nothing. "Speak when you are spoken to." Now William asked her that, "What are you looking at?" She didn't answer. Then immediately he said that you should answer whenever you are spoken to. He gave her a shove, but she did not move. Rather, she let herself be moved, only by him and nothing else. They edged away from her. They would not look at her. She felt them go away. And this was because she would play no games with them in echoing tunnels of the underground city. He gave her a shove. Shove means as if he was trying to push her with his shoulder. But she didn't move. She let herself to the movement of William. If William had given her a push by his shoulder, she moved by that only, but she herself did not make any attempt. All of them were separate from her. They never came to her, and they didn't even try to look at her. And she also felt that they should go away from her, because she was not interested in any one of them and talking to them. This was because she did not even play games with them whenever they used to play in the underground tunnels of the in the echoing tunnels of the underground city. So she did not even participate in the games. If they tagged her and ran, she stood blinking after them and did not follow. If suppose they used to tag at her and then run, though she did not even respond. She used to just see them with her blinking eyes. When the class sang songs about happiness and life and games, her lips barely moved. Whenever the class together used to sing happy songs, or they used to enjoy, or they used to play games, she didn't even make an effort to move her lips. Only when they sang about the sun and the summer did her lips move as she watched the drenched windows. Whenever the children used to sing about the sun and the summer, then only her lips used to move, because she was eager to see the sun. And then, of course, the biggest crime of all was that she had come here only 5 years ago from the earth, and she remembered the sun and the way the sun was, and the sky was when she was 4 in Ohio. See, the biggest crime for her was that she was not here right from the beginning on this planet, and she had come here 5 years ago. And before that, she had a good experience of how the sun used to look, what was its experience, what was the feel of the sun. And she came here when she was 4 years old. She came from Ohio. And they had been on Venus all their lives, and they had been only 2 years when the last sun came out, and had long since forgotten the color and the heat of it, and the way it really was. But Margaret remembered. And these children, they had stayed on this planet right from the beginning, and so they couldn't remember the shape and the warmth of the sun, because the sun had come only when they were 2 years of age, and they could not recall. Margaret remembered everything, because when she was 4 years old, only then she came here. "It's like a penny," she said, once eyes closed. Once, whenever everybody used to describe the sun is like this, like that, she closed her eyes once and said that it's like a penny. "No, it's not," the children cried. "It's like a fire," she said, "in the stove." The children said, "No, no, it is not so." Then she said that it's like a fire which is burnt on a stove. "You are lying, you don't remember," cried the children. The children said that you are telling lies, you don't even remember the shape of the sun. But she remembered and stood quietly apart from all of them and watched the patterning windows. She always used to remember, so she didn't even answer them back. She always used to look at the windows on which rain droplets were forming patterns. And once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower room, and had clutched her hands to her ears and over her head, screaming the water mustn't touch her head. Now, a month ago, what happened was, when she was here and she was told to take a bath, she refused to take a shower. And at that time, she screamed, and then she closed her ears as well as her head in order to prevent them from dropping water on herself. So after that, dimly she sensed it. She was different, and they knew her different and kept away. But after that, gradually she used to experience the showers by making a habit of them. And so the children knew that she was quite different, and she will not be able to adjust with us. There was talk that her father and mother were taking her back to Earth next year. It seemed vital to her that they do so. Otherwise, it would mean the loss of thousands of dollars to her family. And there were some gossips all around that her father would come on this planet and take her away again to Earth, and it would be good for her, because though taking her away from this planet would be a loss of $1,000. And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big and little consequence. That is why the children, whenever they used to hear about her or about her parents, they used to be jealous of her, and so they didn't like her. They hated her pale snow face. They even didn't like her face, her waiting silence, her thinness, and her possible future. They hated everything. They couldn't withstand her thinness, or her silence, or her possible future. "Get away," the boy gave her another push. what are you waiting for? The boy then said that, what are you waiting for? Why are you standing here? Get away from here. Then for the first time she turned and looked at him, and that she was waiting for was in her eyes. So for the first time she turned and looked at the boy, and the boy could see that she was having a wait in her eyes, wait for seeing the sun. The boy said, go away, the sun is not going to arise today. You won't see anything. Her lips moved. Nothing? He cried. It was all a joke, wasn't it? He turned to other children. Then in order to tease her, he said to other children that, isn't it that it is a false that the sun is going to appear today? It is a false thing. Nothing's happened today, is it? They all blinked at him and then, understanding, laughed and shook their heads. And then he gave a blink to his eye to other boys and said, isn't it nothing is going to happen here? Then all the children understood his blink and they started laughing and nodded their heads in yes. Nothing, nothing. Oh, but Margaret whispered, her eyes helpless, but this is the day. The scientists predict, they say they know the sun. Then Margaret in a low voice said that, no, it is the day. The scientists have predicted today only that the sun is going to rise. All a joke, said the boy and seized her roughly. Hey everyone, let's put her in a closet before the teacher comes. This William boy, he said, nothing is there. This is not true. Then he told other boys, let's put her in a closet before the teacher comes. Now this was the first part of this story. We are going to continue with the second part in the second video. Thank you.